take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather has once again shaken up the boxing world, calling out Terence Crawford immediately after Canelo Álvarez's latest fight. Known for his trademark confidence and undefeated legacy, Mayweather didn't hold back, hinting he's willing to step back into the ring for a blockbuster showdown. Fans and analysts are buzzing with speculation, as a Mayweather vs. Crawford clash would be one of the most historic events in boxing history. The tension is electric.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence Bud Crawford extended his perfect record by defeating Canelo Álvarez via unanimous decision, becoming the undisputed super middleweight champion. The September 13, 2025 bout at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas was one of the year's most anticipated matchups. Moving up 2 weight classes, Crawford entered the ring brimming with confidence and showcased masterful boxing skills. Despite Canelo's natural size and punching power, Crawford controlled the pace with superior footwork, sharp combinations, and a tactical approach that neutralized Canelo's strengths.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I loved the fight, man. I loved the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record as saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen, and I knew we would have known after the first, second, or third round. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, start to wear him down. Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in there later on.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I've bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him respect no matter what. You got to give him respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Right.
You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by taking Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was stronger and everything else, these fights are still humans and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was, I'm sorry, not Canelo, Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
For this fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. put his money where his mouth is, literally. He placed a $50,000 bet on Crawford to win outright at plus 148 odds, despite Crawford being labeled the underdog. When Crawford's unanimous decision victory was announced, Mayweather cashed in big, netting $124,000. His wager was more than just a gamble, it was a statement of faith in Crawford's skill set and proof of Mayweather's sharp eye for boxing strategy.
Check
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're gonna hear from Crawford, and I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio, because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Mayweather has also been vocal about the pound-for-pound debate, declaring Terence Crawford the best fighter in the world today. He praised Crawford's discipline, technical mastery, and ability to dominate in multiple divisions. For Mayweather, pound-for-pound greatness isn't just about collecting titles, it's about consistently proving superiority against elite competition. In his view, Crawford's undefeated record and recent win over Canelo have cemented him as the man to beat in modern boxing.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number.
Crawford, in turn, has long admired Mayweather not just for his brilliance in the ring, but for the way he managed his career and built his legacy. Over the years, Crawford has received tips and advice from Mayweather, which he takes to heart and applies in his own career. Their connection reflects a shared pursuit of greatness, ambition, and understanding of what it takes to reach the very top.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever... Keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. I always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
You like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person.
In a surprising press conference moment, Canelo Álvarez admitted, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." The statement carried weight, considering Álvarez's first career loss came at the hands of Mayweather back in 2013, when Canelo was just 23 and undefeated. Crawford's victory over Canelo was a masterclass, using blistering hand speed, slick footwork, and pinpoint counters to outbox him for 12 rounds. Even after moving up 2 weight divisions, Crawford effectively nullified Canelo's power with a brilliant defensive game plan.
Fight Hub TV, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, responded critically to Canelo's comment. He suggested that Canelo's praise for Crawford might be a way to make his own loss look better in hindsight. Jeff pointed out that Canelo's defeat to Mayweather came when Canelo was already in his prime, and he argued that Floyd's defensive skill still surpasses Crawford's, even if Crawford is one of today's best.
Remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something.
Trainer Greg Hackett also joined the debate, insisting that Floyd Mayweather remains the superior fighter. While acknowledging Crawford's impressive performance against Canelo, Hackett argued that Mayweather's unmatched ring IQ and defensive brilliance set him apart. For Hackett, Mayweather's legacy and undefeated record in dominance over champions across several divisions keeps him at the top of the all-time rankings.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Álvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time. Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ. You know what I'm saying? Everything he do. He was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look.
Promoter Eddie Hearn echoed this sentiment, dismissing the idea that Crawford's resume surpasses Mayweather's. Hearn argued that many of Crawford's opponents were past their prime and that his list of elite wins still falls short of Mayweather's extensive track record against top-tier fighters. While he acknowledged the significance of Crawford's victory over Canelo, Hearn believes Mayweather's overall career accomplishments are on another level.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't, but I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault, his resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now Ricky Burns is a great fighter. It's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Boxing insider Carmamel Moughton reinforced the GOAT conversation, stating that Floyd Mayweather will always be the standard for greatness. He praised Crawford's win but stressed that greatness isn't defined by one fight. Mayweather's flawless record, defensive genius, and longevity at the top create a benchmark few can match. In Motton's view, Crawford is elite, but Mayweather's legacy belongs in a different category altogether.
Where do you sit with this? Because two pound-for-pound greats of this era. Canelo, we see the resume. Crawford, you know, two-time undisputed. Potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, you know, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. You know, we've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford look a little bigger than. Yeah, for sure. So, you know, really just, we're going to see tomorrow, you know, how it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. You know, I feel like it's even playing fields, and, you know, both guys coming ready, so we're just going to have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is great, but does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonards, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well, because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. You know, of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Crawford himself has addressed the comparisons to Mayweather, saying that each fighter should be celebrated in the context of their own era. He asserted that he is the greatest of his generation, just as Mayweather was in his. Rather than chase comparisons, Crawford is focused on building a legacy that stands on its own. Following his historic victory, trainer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre made it clear that Crawford won't be rushing back into camp. He stressed the importance of rest and recovery after such a grueling 12-round fight. For now, Crawford is set to enjoy some well-earned time off before considering future opponents.
And you know what? We're going to get back in the gym. We're going to get back in the gym, and we're going to assess that. And, you know, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for like probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is the thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. You know, everybody.
Bernie the Boxer Thigh, a close associate of Crawford, voiced frustration over the judges' scorecards despite the unanimous decision win. He argued that several rounds were scored too closely and that Crawford's dominance wasn't fully reflected. Bernie believes Crawford clearly dictated the pace and landed the cleaner, sharper shots, and that the scoring should have been wider in his favor.
This is the second time you destroy every myth. Can he take your punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed him. Crawford the best.
Floyd Mayweather brings a unique perspective to this rivalry, having handed Canelo his first career loss back in 2013. That win remains one of the defining moments of his career, showcasing his unmatched defense and ring IQ. Now, with Crawford having defeated the same opponent years later, Mayweather's call-out of Crawford is reigniting excitement, hinting that he still sees himself capable of competing with the very best.
You fought Floyd Mayweather at what, 23?
23.
That's so fucking young. And he was like, that was when he was
he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you were like 23. What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because if you beat him, you're gonna be the best in the world. 23, so imagine that. But you know, he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter.
So, what do you think? Should Floyd Mayweather come out of retirement to face Terence Crawford in what could be one of the biggest fights of all time? Or should he let Crawford carry the torch for this generation? Share your thoughts below.